You know that spine-chilling notification? The one that pops up on your phone glowing with cheerful malevolence? Family dinner, Sunday, 5 p.m. And in that instant, your stomach plummets faster than a crypto bro's portfolio. You suddenly feel an overwhelming urge to move to a remote cabin with no cell service and befriend a colony of squirrels. Well, my friend, I have fantastic news. You are not a broken, ungrateful monster. There is actual hard science that explains why some of us would rather perform amateur dentistry on a crocodile than sit through another holiday meal. And trust me, it's way more fascinating than just being antisocial. Look, I love my family. I do. But if I have to listen to my Uncle Derek explain for the 17th time how pigeons are actually government surveillance drones powered by 5G, I might just activate the witness protection program for myself. And science says that impulse is kinda normal. Today, we're putting on our lab coats and diving deep into the psychology of why family gatherings can feel like an emotional triathlon you never signed up for. Spoiler alert, your brain is running a 3-ring circus behind the scenes, and you're the main attraction. So grab a stiff drink and let's get into it. First up, let's tackle the big, easy scapegoat, introversion. Everyone loves to blame introversion, right? Oh, you're just drained. You need to recharge your social battery. Wrong. Well, okay, partially wrong, but mostly wrong for the reasons you think. It's not just about your battery, it's about who's plugging a faulty, sparking, energy-sucking appliance into it. Researchers have found that introverts can be absolute social rock stars when they're around people they genuinely connect with. They can talk for hours, be the life of the party, and have a blast. The problem with family gatherings isn't the people, it's the obligation. Experts call this obligatory socialization. You were not there because you woke up and thought, you know what would be an absolute banger of a Tuesday? Listening to my cousin Brenda detail her kombucha making process. No, you were there because you have to be. Your brain, that clever little organ, knows you're not there by choice. And that involuntary, trapped feeling triggers the exact same stress response as being stuck in a broken-down elevator with a guy practicing his stand-up routine. Your nervous system literally flags it as a low-level threat. It's saying, we are not safe here, our free will has been compromised, deploy cortisol. So when you feel that tension, it's not you being a grump, it's your primal lizard brain trying to save you from the perceived danger of small talk. But here's where it gets truly wild. Have you ever noticed how you can be a 38-year-old CEO who manages a team of 50 people, but the second you walk through the door of your childhood home, you're suddenly 15 again, arguing with your brother about who gets the last potato roll? There is a name for this bizarre form of emotional time travel: family systems theory. Basically, every family is a mini solar system, and everyone has their own pre-assigned orbit. You've got your roles, the golden child, who probably has a Nobel Prize and a perfect family, the screw-up, who still gets side-eyed for that one incident in 2004, the peacemaker, who's armed with Tupperware and an endless supply of, let's just change the subject, and the black sheep, who gets asked if their tattoo was a good decision. When you show up for Thanksgiving, you aren't just arriving as your cool adult self, you were being sucked back into the gravitational pull of your old role. Your mom still sees the kid who used crayons on the walls. Your sister still sees the sibling who borrowed her favorite sweater and never returned it. And the most infuriating part, you regress too. You can be a literal brain surgeon, but when your dad makes that one specific disappointed sigh about your career choice, you're instantly a moody teenager again, mentally slamming your bedroom door and blasting angry music. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's neuroscience. The neural pathways associated with these family dynamics were carved into your brain when it was still gooey and developing. They are deep. We're talking Grand Canyon deep. So when you're back in that environment, your brain defaults to those old, well-worn paths. It's having a neurological flashback to every awkward dinner from 1998 to the present. Now, let's talk about the emotional gymnastics routine we all perform, a little something called masking. And this isn't just for my neurodivergent friends, though it is absolutely an Olympic-level sport for them. This is for anyone who has ever had to put on a performance to survive a social event.
Masking is the exhausting, unpaid, full-time job of being a pleasant, non-controversial version of yourself. You're not just at the gathering, you're actively managing the emotional temperature of the entire room. You're laughing at jokes that died in the 90s. You're cowardly dodging political landmines like you're in an action movie. You're pretending to be fascinated by a 20-minute story about your aunt's new air fryer. Ever left a family party and felt like you've run a marathon, even though the most strenuous thing you did was pass the gravy? That's because social masking burns through cognitive resources like a Hummer burns through gas. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self-control and decision-making, is working overtime. You're running a sophisticated PR campaign for your life choices while simultaneously playing 4D chess to predict and neutralize everyone else's potential emotional reactions. It's utterly draining. And if you're someone who already has to mask in your daily life, maybe you have ADHD, anxiety, or autism, family gatherings are like playing the final boss level on the hardest difficulty setting. Why? Because these are the people who have your origin story. They knew you before you perfected the mask. They remember your weird phases, your awkward moments, and a deep primal part of you is terrified that they'll see the cracks in the facade and call you out. Of course, no family gathering would be complete with the main event, the comparison monster. Humans are hardwired to figure out their place in the world by looking at others. A psychologist named Leon Festinger called this social comparison theory, and family gatherings are the Coachella of social comparison. Every seemingly innocent question is actually a thinly veiled status check. How's work going? Translates to, are you making more or less money than your cousin Mark? Seeing anyone special? Translates to, your biological clock is ticking so loud I can hear it over the football game. You look different. Translates to, I have a detailed list of opinions about your hair, weight, and general life choices. Here's the kicker. Neuroimaging studies show that when you feel you're coming up short in these comparisons, it activates the exact same regions of the brain associated with physical pain. That's right, your brain processes the thought, my sister just bought a house and I'm still renting a studio apartment with a mysterious leak, with the same alarm bells it uses for, I just stepped on a Lego. Except the pain from the Lego eventually fades. The pain of comparison marinates. It follows you home. It becomes your unwanted roommate for the next week, whispering insecurities in your ear while you try to sleep. Finally, let's talk about the place where good intentions and personal sanity go to die. Boundaries. In your normal adult life, you've probably worked hard to build them. You have a system. You don't answer work emails at midnight. You don't let friends treat your home like a free hotel. But with family, boundaries are often treated as cute little ideas you have. Unsolicited advice isn't rude, it's caring. Intrusive questions about your finances or love life aren't invasive, it's just being interested. Your personal choices aren't yours, they're up for a family committee vote. Here's the science. Boundary violations trigger a massive stress response because they threaten our fundamental psychological need for autonomy and control. When your aunt corners you in the kitchen to ask for the 15th time when you're going to settle down and give your mother some grandchildren, she's not just being annoying. She is on a neurological level triggering your brain's threat detection system. Your primitive brain doesn't differentiate between Aunt Carol is violating my personal space and a saber-toothed tiger is cornering me in this kitchen. It just knows your control is being threatened, and a loss of control equals danger. So what are you supposed to do with all this information? First, take a deep breath and give yourself a mountain of grace. Dreading family gatherings doesn't make you a bad son, daughter, or cousin. It makes you a human with a highly functioning nervous system and a healthy dose of self-awareness. Second, get strategic. Think of yourself as a special agent on a delicate mission. This might mean shorter visits, plan an escape route, a prior engagement you absolutely can't miss. Have a friend on standby, ready to deliver an emergency phone call. Maybe book a hotel instead of staying in your childhood bedroom, which still has posters from your emo phase on the wall. This isn't avoidance, it's self-preservation. It is an act of survival. Because at the end of the day, you do not owe anyone your mental health, not even family. In fact, especially not family. Maybe you go for an hour. Maybe you don't go at all. Maybe you redefine what family time means. Maybe it's a quiet coffee with your one cousin who gets it instead of attending the whole chaotic circus. Whatever you choose, do it consciously, do it for you. Not out of guilt, not out of obligation, but out of respect for your own well-being.
The people who truly love and respect you will understand. And the ones who don't, well, they're probably a big part of the reason you needed this video in the first place. So next time someone raises an eyebrow because you're ducking out of the party early, you can either hit them with a quick lecture on family systems theory and the neurological impact of obligatory socialization, or you can just send them this video. Either way, you're not alone, you're not broken, you're just done performing. And frankly, that's the healthiest thing you could be. If this felt a little too real, you'll probably love one of these other videos on your screen right now. Go on, click one. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into why we are all such beautifully complicated messes.